Let's talk Monday Night Football. We have the Saints hosting the Colts, who have a very, very, very outside shot at the playoffs, but it looks dire. The Saints are currently sitting as a 9.5 point favorite, depending on where you look. Over under here is sitting at 46.5 ish. You might be able, there's a couple different prices out there, but around 46.5, I think was consensus. Look, the Saints this crowd should be lively. Saints in prime time. This game's huge for them. They're sitting at 10-3. They want the bye. They want home field. So you should see a really fired up Saints team. But the offense is just, obviously you have Michael Thomas, who no one can cover. Jared Cook is starting to get a little more chemistry and feel for this offense, but the offensive line is still banged up. Kamara, as you alluded to before, he's not fully healthy. Everything doesn't look the same with Kamara as it did last year. And so the Saints offense is really methodical and slow. It's not that explosive. You don't really trust their other receivers on the outside. But they should be able to throw it underneath, which they like to do. Breeze gets rid of the ball as quick as anyone in the NFL. So I think that they will have some success moving the ball, but it's not the most explosive offense in the world. On the other side of the ball, the Saints defense has some injuries up front in their front seven, and the Colts, what they want to do is run the ball. And I think that they can have some success running the ball here. This team is chippy. They, cover when you don't think they're going to cover. And then they don't when you do. I think that they could have some. If this line gets to 10, I think there's a tad bit of value on the Colts. As a dog, I think they'll be able to move the ball on the ground. I don't think that they can potentially win this game, but it just feels like this game is going to be close, even though I make the line right around here. But if it gets to 10, I think the Colts are worth a look. What are you seeing in this game?
Yeah, I think you're spot on. And for me, the question is, am I going to take the Colts full game or am I going to take them in the first half? Because, they've only won one of their last 6 games. And in some of those games, I think 4 of those games have been within less than 7, within 3 points. And a couple of
Yeah,
those
they had a
games.
kicker. They could have won a bunch of them.
Oh, yeah, they've had a couple. They've had a couple games where they've had extremely comfortable leads. They're playing hard still. They've only not covered on the road once this year, as to where, the Saints, I think, are 3-4 against the spread at home. So they're kind of, they're below 500. And really where the Saints have shined is against the spread on the road, where I think they're 5-1 against the spread. So, it's definitely a thing where I like Indy. They know that their entire season is on the line. I think that gives max effort in the first half. And over this, streak of last 6 games where they've only won 1 game, they've played outstanding in the first half, and they've just had some of the craziest. The blocked field goal for a touchdown by the Titans a couple of weeks ago. They just had some crazy things happen to them.
Well, they should have beat the Steelers if Vinatieri didn't kick a field goal to Philadelphia from
Exactly. So I think Indy's going to play max effort in the first half, considering their season is on the line here and they need help. I just, at the pace that they play, the number is probably a little bit larger than usual because they're not really a high prolific, high pace offense. So to me, it's going to be a decision before game time, whether I play Colts in the first half, play them full game, or I play both just at a half unit apiece.
Yep. It's the other thing to mention that is a little worrisome with the Colts is T.Y. Hilton might play, and if he does, apparently he's not going to be limited. That's huge. They need him on the outside as weapon, so keep an eye on that. But their secondary, Jameis Winston threw for I think close to 500 yards against them and Pierre Desir is listed as questionable. More importantly, it doesn't look like Kenny Moore is going to play, and that's really important because when they go 3 corners, he'll line up in the slot. And Michael Thomas, if they put him in the slot, they've been using, this safety Roland Milligan they were using to replace him. That's not good because not only is Moore great in the slot and out in coverage, he's great against the run and coming up and defending the run. So his loss, that'll hurt. But like you said, this team is scrappy and could have won. Colts fans don't want to hear about that Pittsburgh game, but if Vinatieri makes that field goal, or if you didn't have Vinatieri as your kicker because you should have known before that the Vinatieri should be your kicker, you win that game, you're sitting at 7-6, and the Steelers are sitting at 7-6, and or the Steelers are sitting at 8-6. You're one game behind them with a win over them. But now you're 2 games behind, and that's just the one game. I mean, the Titans, they were kicking a field goal, got it blocked, returned for a touchdown. They could have easily won that game. So this team has been scrappy. I think they can hang here. There's some things to worry about on their defense and their secondary, which I think that they're going to have to scheme for. But I do like this staff. It's one of the best staffs in the NFL, I think, which is why you see them win games like they did at Kansas City when they were completely undermanned. So I think the look is the Colts here. We'll have a preview up on actionnetwork.com and the Action app. But get the 10. I think if you can't get the 10 full game, maybe look first half, as Colin said, or maybe look to grab them live if the Saints come down and score right away, which is what I did with the Falcons today. They gave a touchdown right away, sometime in the first quarter, popped 14.5, and then they scored, and you never see that number again. So that could be an option as well.